What is up, guys? It's Jesse here of RAFscents yet again, and I am so happy to have you with me. So, over the last few years, I've grown my collection to a pretty respectable size. I'm at about 180, 185 bottles. I've got niche, I've got designer, I've got some cheapies, some indies, you name it, it's in there. But there's one fragrance that somebody of my size usually has that I've just never had. Until today, I went out and bought a bottle. It is Bleu de Chanel EDP. Man, it smells pretty freaking good, you know. Influencers all over the place usually tout this as the best blue fragrance in the designer world. But is it really? You know, listen, I'm not knocking this. It smells really good, but in terms of everything that's out there, is it the best? Well, I wanted to compare, so I pulled 7 of my own blue fragrances, including this one, from my collection, and I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. And you may be surprised where this ranks, so stick around, this is going to be fun. Alright, so before we actually get into the list, we have to take time to make sure we understand what a blue fragrance actually is. You see, blue fragrances are ones that kind of give off an aquatic feel. They can usually be clean, soapy, somewhat sweet, very fresh. They're invigorating, and they're also among some of the most versatile fragrances out there. They can be worn in any season. They can be worn by people of any age range. They can be worn in a number of different scenarios, from formal events to work to casual settings to nights out. The possibilities are limitless, okay? So these fragrances all fit into that category. So first up on our list is my least favorite of the 7 fragrances that I've pulled, and that's not to say that I don't like it. I'm just not nearly as impressed with this one as I am the other 6, and that is Coach for Men. Now, the reason I'm not overly impressed with this one is because to my nose it smells a bit synthetic and a little bit too safe. This is just kind of one of those options to spray on. You're not looking to offend anybody, but you're not going to turn too many heads with it either. It's a fresh citrusy top with some bergamot, some kumquat, and some pear for some sweetness, and then it has some deeper undertones as well with some ambergris, some amber wood, and vetiver. Now, before anybody gets their panties in a wad, you're going to be like, oh, he's talking about blue fragrances, and he didn't mention a water note. Well, that does happen in a lot of these because the combination of some of these notes can give it the feel of aquatic or water, but it doesn't necessarily have to be actual water, actual sea notes. And that's kind of what's going on here. The price point on this is not too terribly bad. If you find it online, you can probably find it anywhere between $35 and $50 depending on where you shop. And on a good day, you can even find it in a place like TJ Maxx or Ross. Not often, but they may surprise you from time to time. So it's a 6-hour longevity, good for any season. So if you want to give it a shot, if you're a teenager that wants their first blue fragrance, something that's really easy to like, this is a good bet. Check it out. Next up on our list is another really good blue fragrance that some of you guys may give me a little hate for keeping it so far down the list. It's totally okay, I understand, because a lot of people have some really strong love for this one. It is Versace Dylan Blue. This is good, okay? I like this one way better than Coach. And you will be pleased to know that it does have aquatic notes in here as some of the official notes. We're talking aquatic notes mixed with a little bit of grapefruit, some incense, some musk, and some tonka bean, making it quite sweet. And that's what people really, really like about this one. I do recommend this one to teenagers as well who want a more mature smell than the Coach. But here's the thing. This one is a little bit lower on my list than some other ones, because it still does have a bit of a synthetic feel to me. And it's a little bit, the sweetness on it is just not for my taste. It's a little more youthful than something that I would like, but that's a subjective thing, all right? Some of you guys may really, really like that, and that's totally okay. The longevity is here though. I get about 8 hours off of my skin with this one on a good day. It may be, if you're wearing it during the hotter seasons, it may be closer to 6.5 to 7. But that's okay. It's a It's a pretty affordable scent as well. I got this bottle, it's a 50 ml bottle. I got this one for about $45 from FragranceX.com, but that was about a year and a half ago. So the prices may have changed as of this video. I'll always post links to places you can buy these fragrances in the description, so be sure to check it out. But that is Versace Dylan Blue. It's a good one. So now is the part of the video where you guys are allowed to throw some hate at me. Because remember, I'm listing these blue fragrances in order from my least favorite to my favorite, and then coming up in the bottom half of my favorites is the Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Let me have it, it's okay, I totally get it. Now, on paper, I was supposed to like this. I really thought the notes looked good. It's got some lemons, some grapefruit, some mint, aldehydes, ginger, some sandalwood, some amber. It was gonna be like the fresh on top and the deep on bottom. And I was really looking forward to it, especially after everybody touted how good it is. But first off, this 50 milliliter bottle was over $100, and that is because Chanel is Chanel and they never discount any of their fragrances. But whenever it started drying off for me, there's some mid notes that kind of made this fragrance seem a little bit soapy. And I don't mind soapiness to a point, but whenever I'm paying that much money for this fragrance, I could go down to Walgreens and buy a bar of soap for $2 and smell soapy. I wanted something more for the price. Now the longevity's there, the projection is there. It can be used day or night in any season, just like any quality blue fragrance should be. And that thing about it smelling soapy, that's just my opinion. It is a subjective thing. I'm not saying that anybody else may get that. I'm not saying that somebody else may not appreciate that. It may be your jam, and if it is, well, rock the hell out of this, man. Do your thing. But for the price, it wasn't worth it to me. There are some better options, and we're getting ready to get to them now. Next up in our list is a really awesome fragrance from the house of Giorgio Armani. It is the Acqua di Gio Profumo. Now, a couple people will say, well, the Profundo works better as a blue fragrance. Now, I have a strict rule, is that I don't review anything that I don't own, and I really don't own that fragrance. But the thing is, too, is that this one captures me a little bit more. And the reason for that is because it still is an aquatic fragrance, but it has a really, really nice note of incense in there, giving it a bit more maturity and making it a little bit more unique than most of the other fragrances out there in the blue category. I get about 6 to 8 hours off of this fragrance, depending on how hot it is outside. I wear it year round, and it is a huge, huge compliment puller. Now, there have been talks that this has been discontinued. I've still seen it floating around on some shelves in retail stores. So if you look hard, you can find it, and you can still find it pretty, pretty reasonable online. Maybe a little bit discounted than a retail store, but once you add in shipping, it's gonna be about even. But the Acqua di Gio Profumo is an absolutely amazing, amazing fragrance. I really, really love this one. Here we go, guys. Third place went to a fragrance that is budget friendly and one of the most versatile scents in my collection. From the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, it is Acqua Essenziale Blue. And let me tell you, it is phenomenal. It mixes very well sweet profiles with deep profiles and has a little bit of a powdery facet in there to give it some maturity. So right there on the top, you're gonna be met with some bergamot and some cardamom. And then as it dies down, you're gonna start picking up a little more lavender with some ambroxan and some tonka bean on the bottom. It is, I'm telling you, I'm losing my words because I'm thinking of 1,000 different things to say about it. Overall, what you can basically take from it is that it can be used by anybody of any age for any occasion in any season. That is how versatile this thing is. I cannot stress to you enough how much you need to pick up this fragrance. So go online and start shopping, and don't go without this. So here we are for the silver medal, and that goes to a fragrance from the house of Bulgari. It is Acva Atlantiqve. Now, I could go on for a while about how much I love the Bulgari Aqua line anyways. The Aquamarine, the Aqua Amara, that entire line is very, very well-rounded. But this one stands out from the rest because it's got some amazing notes in it. I'm talking, along with aquatic notes, It's got some bergamot, some lemon, some amberwood, some apple, some vetiver, some sandalwood. It is really, really good and very, very versatile. Anybody can use this. Now, I get about 8 hours off of my skin with this one, and it projects like a beast with only about 2 or 3 sprays. It's pretty strong. Now, it is also very similar to the Acqua Essenziale Blue that I just showed you, but it loses that powdery note in there that the Acqua Essenziale Blue has, but it adds a little bit of that apple. That apple really comes through after about 45 minutes of being on your skin. That apple can be sensed in there, and it just takes it and elevates it to a new level. Oh my word. It's pretty affordable. I think this one's been discontinued, but it's still pretty available when you shop on discount websites. This 50 ml bottle, I think I got it for about $50 or $55. I'd get it again too, so definitely check into this one. Here we are, my friends. It is the fragrance that gets the gold medal, my favorite blue fragrance in my collection, and it is banging. And it is the one that I probably recommend to more people than any other. It is YSL Eau de Parfum, and oh my word, it is perfect in so many ways. First off, it's got beastly projection. It only takes about 2 or 3 sprays and you will get over 8 hours of longevity in it. It's really nice and sweet on the top with apple, bergamot, and ginger. And then as it dries down, you're gonna get some sage, some amberwood, some tonka bean, and some cedar. So you've got a good mix of sweet with a really nice depth to it. So what that also means for its wearers is that it is really good for teenagers. It is really good for adults. Now, teenagers, when you wear it, you're probably going to be wearing it in somewhat of a formal setting, somewhat of a night out setting. For anybody that's probably over 25, you're going to find yourself wearing this in a casual setting, or maybe for a fun night out type of a setting. But it's modestly priced. It's hard to find a really good deal when you're shopping online. I think the cheapest I've seen this is about $75 or $80 online, and retail it's about $110, maybe somewhere around there. So you're not getting that much of a discount when you shop online and then have to pay for shipping on top of that. But let me tell you, this is an incredible scent. I really do recommend you guys trying this. And the others in the line, the Y line, are really good too. The Parfum, the YSL Eau de Toilette, they're not bad as well. But I really find the most versatility comes from this one. So YSL EDP is the must-have. It's the gold medal fragrance. And there you have it, my friends, some of the really awesome blue fragrances from my collection. Thank you all so much for being here with me and watching my video, man. I love you all so much, man, and you have no clue how much your support means to me. I love answering your DMs on Instagram. I love answering your comments. Everything, man. You guys just mean the world to me. If you haven't already, be sure you like and subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, all of that good stuff. And don't forget to read the description below where I list in order the fragrances that I've discussed, as well as attaching links to where you can purchase everything online. Be sure you're following my other social media channels, and if you feel so led, please consider donating to RAFscents. I would love to be able to bring you more fragrances. I'd love to be able to expand this brand to incorporate a few more really awesome things. I've got some great plans in the future. I need some help pulling them off. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel so led, there's a link in the description below as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.